Okay, dear students, last time around we had completed the session with one curiosity question, a suspense question, where I had asked you that which investment alternative gives you higher return from both. Historically, one has given you higher, and why it will give you the higher return. So, we were talking about real estate, another one was a stock market. Here we have got say 15 percentage return, here we have got say 10 percentage return. Now I had asked you that why shares will give you higher return in comparison to real estate, and why shares have always outperformed any other investment avenue. So let's start with the answers of that question. I hope you are ready with your answers. Let me know what do you think about it. Why shares will always give you higher percentage of return in comparison to all other alternatives of investments? You may unmute yourself. You may communicate that to me by using the chat box. Whatever the way feasible to you. Everyone. Yes, may we have the interaction please? Since morning my internet connectivity was little unstable, so I just need to confirm that I am properly audible. Okay, thank you. So let's come back to the question. That means you have got the question. So what you are thinking about? It's perfectly okay to be wrong in our financial management class. I am not someone who will judge you based on your answers, because I know that before few years I was there sitting just like you guys, and I know what kind of blunders I have done over there. तो मुझे मालूम है कि मैं कैसे कैसे लिखता था, कैसे कैसे बातें करता था. तो आपको मैं जज करने वाला बिल्कुल नहीं हूँ बेटा. एकदम मीडियोक्रे एवरेज इंसान हूँ जैसे मैं पहले था. बताइए. Yes, please. Why not? You can unmute. It's perfectly okay to unmute.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Very good morning.
Tushar here. So yes, as you told that why equity is performing better than all other investment alternatives. So one reason is their equities is pure dependent on the development of the country. Uh, Further, if we classify that the shares which is purely dependent on the development of its sector. So as we heard that हमने ऐसा सुना है सर कि if banks are telling that guaranteed return, safer return, and these all are like बोलना तो नहीं चाहिए बट ऐसे कि उल्लू उल्लू बनाने की चीज है, ऐसे बोल सकते हैं कि इन्फ्लेशन 60% है और वो 5 साढ़े 6% दे रहे तो कुछ रिटर्न नहीं हुआ. बट इफ यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ कंट्री, डेफिनेटली यू विल बी एबल टू अर्न हायर रेट ऑफ रिटर्न. लाइक जो रिस्क ले रहा है उसको अच्छा रिटर्न्स मिल सकता है. आई मे बी रॉन्ग, आई एम नॉट श्योर.
Okay, so this is how I have compiled the answer of Mr. Meghani. Well, उल्लू बनाने की स्कीम तो नहीं कह सकते. That will be too harsh. But definitely, in shares you take the higher amount of risk. Shares is basically reflecting the performance of that company, that sector, and the overall performance of the country at large. Now, if I just talk it from the perspective of the risk, obviously there is a higher amount of risk in the shares as compared to all other investment avenues. The first type of a risk is the risk of uncertainty. Shares are extremely volatile in the uncertainty as compared to other investment avenues. आपने देखा था कि कोरोना कोविड-19 पेंडेमिक के टाइम पे कोई रियल एस्टेट के भाव अचानक से 30 लाख में से 15 लाख हो गए? नहीं होते, होता भी होगा तो 5-10% का इफेक्ट आता होगा, अंडरस्टूड, बट शेयर्स में गो 50-60% डाउन एज वेल. सम ऑफ द स्टॉक्स वर 70-80% down during the COVID-19 pandemic. So shares are extremely vulnerable to the uncertainties. You take the risk of volatility, fluctuations. Now the measurement of the volatility is the standard deviation. What do I call? Standard deviation. That is the average deviation from the mean value. We will come to that, nothing to be worried about. But there is one more risk you take in the shares, and that risk is the risk of sensitivity. I mean, you can identify the risk associated with the shares by looking at their sensitivity. Now, everyone's sensitivity will be obviously different. How they are reacting to the external changes in the environment. This is called the sensitivity. And friends, those who are extremely sensitive are more risky as well. So the indicator for the sensitivity is the beta. That tells you that how reactive your stock is in comparison to the entire market. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, if the market was entirely down by say 50%, then some of the stocks were down just by 30%. But some of the stocks were down by 70%. So this stocks, when I say stocks, that means shares. These stocks were less reactive and these stocks were more reactive in comparison to the market. Now this is a double-edged sword. When I say double-edged sword, that means खुद को भी लग सकती है, सामने वाले को भी लग सकती है भैया. तो दो धारी तलवार है ये. Now it increases the chances of the returns as well, because in over a long period of time we assume that the market will go up. Now that fundamental assumption, we have got a lot of criticisms for that too nowadays, because the stock markets are not reflecting nowadays the exact situation of the economy. So various economists and the experts in the Western Europe as well as in some developed societies have started criticizing the performance of stock market, which is not reflecting the overall microeconomic and macroeconomic economy. So some of the parameters of the economy were performing worst in recent times. Still, we could see the stock markets went up. The valuations were at the all-time high level. Due to this, we have now started getting a criticism that stock market may not be a very right indicator for showing the development in the economy. But still, the overwhelming opinion is that stock market reflects in a long period of time the development and the growth of economy. So it will always go up because every company wants to, every country wants to grow. Now, those stocks which are less reactive will have the lower beta. Those stocks which are more reactive will have higher beta. Friends, all the securities which are traded in market, when I use the word securities, that includes shares, bonds, government securities, and any sort of security which can be purchased by one person and can be sold to another person freely in the market by using the exchange mechanism, have always got these two types of risk. One is the volatility risk, another one is sensitivity risk. So these two parameters tells a lot about the risk associated with the securities. There may be various other sort of risk as well, classified into various categories. Maybe economic risk, maybe a sector specific risk, maybe a political risk, maybe global risk, maybe foreign exchange risk. So many other sort of risk may be there which may be affecting. But as far as the movement of securities are concerned, tradable securities are concerned, we generally take standard deviation and beta into account. लेकिन सर ये आपने बताया क्यों? ये बताया इसलिए है because of the extra movement and extra deviations, my friends, those securities will always be expected to give higher return. मैं ऐसे आराम से सोते सोते अगर 6-8% इनकम अर्न करता हूं, तो मुझे शेयर्स में रिस्क लेने की क्या जरूरत है? रिस्क ऑफ वॉलेटिलिटी, रिस्क ऑफ लॉस ऑफ कैपिटल, risk of unnecessary fluctuations. Why? मुझे बैठे बैठे कोई सिक्योरिटी 5%, 6%, 7% दे रही है, तो शेयर मार्केट में मैं इसलिए करता हूं क्योंकि आई वॉन्ट अ रिस्क प्रीमियम. नाउ रिस्क प्रीमियम, अगेन आई एम सेइंग दैट इट इज अ डबल एज्ड स्वॉर्ड. खुद को भी लग सकता है, सामने वाले को भी लग सकता है. So I had taken the example when the entire market was down. Possibly, if the entire market will be up at that time by 50%, this stocks will go up only by 30%, but this stocks will go up by 70%. So it is applicable in upward and downward movement too. So my friend, every decisions in the financial management are taken by offsetting this trade-off, that is risk and return trade-off. So you always try to make the trade-off between two because both are inversely proportional to each other. Higher the risk, higher the chances of return. Lower the risk, lower the chances of return. Higher the standard deviation of a security, higher the chances of return. Lower the standard deviation of security, lower the chances of return. Higher the sensitivity of a security, higher the chances of return. Lower the sensitivity of a security, lower the chances of return. I am not saying that other investment avenues are not affected at all in the uncertain times. Yes, they are affected. If there will be interest rate changes in the economy, obviously the fixed deposit rates and the retirement savings schemes rates will always go down in the economy at that time. But it will not be affected in a magnitude or in a manner like shares. They are extremely sensitive, extremely reactive, and extremely volatile in nature. That's why the return expectations from any sort of an investment avenue from your side will always be risk-free rate plus the risk premium. Now, risk-free rate may be a rate from a government security, government bond. कभी देखा है कि गवर्नमेंट बैंकरप्ट हो गई, ऐसे मोदी भाई साहब 12 बजे आके बोलेंगे कि चलो भैया कल से हम बैंकरप्ट हो गए, किसी को कुछ पेमेंट नहीं मिलेगा. रात को 12 बजे आते हैं तो ऐसी अनाउंसमेंट के पढ़े तो पढ़ते हैं, लेकिन ऐसे बैंकरप्ट भी नहीं होते लोग, गवर्नमेंट बैंकरप्ट नहीं होती. Earlier, the fixed deposits were also taken into risk-free rate, but just after the fiascos of Yes Bank and various other banks, private sector banks, you may not be able to put fixed deposits into risk-free security. Yes, there were certain insurance amount as well with the fixed deposit, but that insurance amount was flat in nature, applicable to everyone in a flat manner. तो 1.5 लाख रुपए 2 लाख रुपए का अगर आपको इंश्योरेंस अमाउंट मिलता है 1 करोड़ के डिपॉजिट्स के ऊपर, तो दैट इज निग्लिजिबल. अब ये राणा कपूर वगैरह जैसे लोगों ने वाट लगा के रख दी है प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक की. Nowadays I have started getting the news for risky nature of loans taken by ICICI Bank as well. ICICI is too much exposed with risky loans, uncertain loans, where the default chances will be pretty high. Anyway, not going into that, but you may have the risk-free rate and you expect a risk premium because you are earning the sleepless nights by taking the risk, unnecessary fluctuations. एक दो दिन में सोते सोते 12-13%, 14% कम हो जाते हैं। एक्सटर्नल फैक्टर भी इतने काम करते हैं। वहां से पता चला कि जो बिडेन ने कुछ कमेंट कर दिया, यहाँ पे आके मेरे शेयर्स 5% गिर गए। तो रिस्क का प्रीमियम तो तुम्हें मिलना चाहिए बेटा। अब ये प्रीमियम की एक्सपेक्टेशंस हर एक से अलग अलग रहेगी। हर एक से तो साथ सर एकदम सेम नहीं रहेगी। विल सी दैट कैलकुलेशन लेटर ऑन मैथमेटिकली, but your expected return will always be a risk-free rate plus a risk premium. This you should put in your mind, in the back of your mind. I hope that's clear to everyone. And the risk-free rate is basically nothing but a compensation for a time. Just because you remain invested for a time, you get something in return. You don't incur any risk in that. You remain invested for some point of time. That is a risk-free rate. And over and above, because you have taken a risk, you should get some risk premium. How much, in what quantity, that we will see later on whenever we'll get such numerical questions. So that's all about risk return trade-off. And we have got two indicators as far as the securities are concerned. One is volatility, for which we have got standard deviation, average deviations from the mean. Another one is we have got sensitivity, which is how reactive you are in comparison to the entire market, which is also called as the beta. तो ये मीम आया था ना, आग लगे बस्ती में बंदा अपना मस्ती में। तो जो स्टॉक्स ऐसे होते हैं जो ऐसे कछुए की तरह धीरे धीरे हड़ू हड़ू जाते हैं भैया, वो उसमें मूवमेंट ज्यादा आती नहीं है। तो अनसर्टन टाइम्स में दिस स्टॉक्स बिकम्स अ नाइस वे टू हेज योर पोजीशंस। लेकिन कुछ कुछ होते हैं जो वहां पे अंदर घुस गए होंगे आग के अंदर, और वहां पे जाके रोना धोना शुरू कर दिया होगा। तो ऐसे सेंसिटिव स्टॉक्स होते हैं, वो रिस्की स्टॉक्स होते हैं। मैं सिर्फ स्टॉक्स की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, एवरी इन्वेस्टमेंट एवेन्यूज आर कवर्ड ओवर हियर एंड स्लाइटली लिटिल बिट एप्लीकेबल टू द पर्सनल psychology too, no? The one who reacts more for the adversities in the outside environment will always be a risky person. Anyway, so this is what we have learned today, risk and return trade-off. May I have a confirmation on this, please? यहां तक रिस्क एंड रिटर्न ट्रेड ऑफ में हर कोई क्लियर है? हाँ, आईटीसी घूम ही नहीं रहा है भैया, कितने सालों से उधर उधर पड़ा हुआ है बेचारा। 170, 180, 180, 190, 200, 210, 210 के बाद फिर से 180, 190। बेचारा कितना कोशिश करता है आगे जाने की, कितना डाइवर्सिफिकेशन भी कर लिया बोलो उन लोगों ने। यार पहले उनका मेजर बिजनेस था वो टोबैको में था, टोबैको में से आता था। अब तो उन लोगों ने कितनी ज्यादा ऐसी ब्रांड्स बना के रखी है जिसमें उनका सिग्निफिकेंट रेवेन्यू कंट्रीब्यूट हो रहा है, लेकिन फिर भी आईटीसी उधर का उधर रहता है। डेट फ्री भी है भैया, डेट भी बहुत कम है, लेकिन फिर भी उधर का उधर रहता है, पता नहीं क्यों। बिकॉज पीपल मे बी नेगेटिव विद दिस वर्ड कॉल्ड टोबैको। स्टॉक मार्केट ऑल्सो गोज विद अ बिट ऑफ अ परसेप्शन, यू नो। एनीवे, जो भी होगा, let's not go into that. Now I'm asking one question to you guys. I'm coming to the time value of money, and here I would start with one very basic question to all of you. Friends, what do you understand by the assets? One fundamental fact you should put in the back of your mind, that rich acquires the assets and poor acquires the liabilities. Now, those who have already been there in my financial literacy webinars, they are aware about it. You may just remain as a silent spectator today. Those who are not there, please try to identify the difference between asset and liability. What you have understood by the asset, you may communicate that to me by unmuting yourself, by putting that in chat box. Everyone, asset का मतलब क्या होता है? Okay, Mr. Tushar has given some definition. So if furniture I put in my home is not generating any money, shouldn't I call it as an asset, Mr. Tushar? Mr. Tushar is saying that which generates the money is an asset for you. तो मैं क्या गाड़ी लेके आऊं और उसमें से कुछ पैसा ना मिले मुझे, तो मेरी गाड़ी मेरे लिए असेट नहीं है. Mr. Siddharth is something which creates any sort of value. Okay. Okay. Expecting the interaction from other students too. Okay, Mr. Meghani is giving some justifications for his answer. Nice to see that. Others, Mr. Jai, an asset is something that contains economic value or future benefit. Okay. Mr. Siddharth, like car is an asset because even though it wouldn't depreciate in monetary value, it should give us the value by easing transport times. Okay, so prevailing assumption is that it is easing your transport times. If that assumption is not there, that means car is a liability. Yes or no, Mr. Siddharth? अगर कुछ असेट के कारण मेरी जिंदगी में कुछ वैल्यू क्रिएट हो ही नहीं रही है, तो फिर वो असेट क्या है? या तो फिर मुझे इकोनॉमिकली उस असेट का कोई भी बेनिफिट नहीं है. चलो मेरा ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सेव हुआ उस कार के कारण, मेरी प्रोडक्टिविटी इंक्रीज हुई, लेकिन देयर इज नो इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट फ्रॉम इट, देन इकोनॉमिक वैल्यू उस असेट की कुछ नहीं है. मिस्टर ऋषित, asset is something which is desirable and which can be valued. Okay, now let me make it very clear. Now this is the extract from the book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, written by Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, who is very famous finance business tycoon in United States of America. I must recommend this book to everyone because that will fundamentally change your perception towards the money, towards the assets, towards the liabilities. So friend, he has given a very simple definition that asset is something which puts the money into your pocket. Liability is something which takes away the money from your pocket as far as the personal financial management is concerned. Yes, for accounting purpose, you may record the assets which may not be able to give you some instant economic benefits, but you may receive some other sort of a value as it is stated by Mr. Siddharth. Now, accounting's main purpose is to record, but the finance main purpose is to earn. So try to understand the difference of purpose. Accounting's purpose is to record and finance purpose is to earn. So if you look from the finance purpose, then if anything or everything which may be a property, which may be an asset as per the accounting, that does not create an income for you, that does not create the additional economic benefits for you, is not an asset for you. If I have got a car and I am supposed to pay 20,000, 30,000 of EMI on that car, that is taking away the money from my pocket. But due to that car, if I am able to increase my productivity and there is some economic benefit out of it, then it's an asset. If I put that car on a rented basis and I start earning some monthly rentals from that car, then it becomes an asset. So it may be a property for you, but in personal finance term, it may not be an asset for you. And that's where the fundamental difference arises. So what rich people do is they create the assets where they earn more amount of income. Now, obviously, they have also got some limited constraints, They have also got the constraint of time. They have also got the constraint of limited income. They have also got the constraint of 24 hours. Every one of us have got 24 hours only to work. So what they do is, in whatever the income they generate, so that may be from primarily a business, primarily from profession, primarily from job, or any vocational services, they try to create the savings out of it first. So they create the assets, we create the liabilities. Now friends, this is how our cash flow statement looks like, a middle class cash flow statement. I have put two equations in front of you. Now, first equation is income minus savings equals to expense. Another one is income minus expense equals to savings. Mathematically, both the equations are right, same, but what is the difference between the two? Can you try to identify this? Will you try? I know there is a difference between the two. Please think about it for 30 seconds. What could be potentially the difference between two? इंटरेक्शन फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट्स. अपना क्लास में कभी इंटरेक्शन बिना तो जाना ही नहीं चाहिए भैया. यहाँ से अथ श्री महाभारत कथा, ऐसा नहीं है हमारा क्लास कि पंडित जी बोले और आके 100 लोग सुन के चले जाए भाषण. इंटरेक्शंस, it's more sort of a discussion forum, and in the class of 15 and 20 it's pretty much possible. 70 के क्लास में मैं आपको बताऊं कि मत बोलो इतना ज्यादा, लेकिन इसमें तो होना ही चाहिए. 20 में क्या? Mr. Tushar is saying there is a huge difference, but I know that you are aware about this difference. I'm expecting the answers of others. Why the two things are different? Can you repeat a question? Yes, Mr. Siddharth. I have put two equations in front of you. Income minus savings equals to expense. Another equation, income minus expense equals to savings. What's the difference between these two? I'm slowly and steadily taking you to the time value of money. But before that, I want to go through this psychological process. Everyone, Mr. Rishit, we should subtract the saving from our income first to find how much we can spend. And in second, we save that what's left after the expense. Okay, so which one you will prefer, Mr. Rishit? First or second? First. Mr. Tushar is also of the same opinion. First. Well, the answer is obviously the first. Now, mathematically, both looks same, but savings is to be taken out first, and then remaining money should be your expense. So, expense is your residual amount left after doing the savings. In second case, savings is left after spending. So savings is the residual amount after prioritizing your expense. So savings should always be forced in nature. मेरी अगर 20,000 रुपए इनकम है, 40 हो, 1 लाख रुपए हो कि 10 लाख रुपए हो महीने की, सेविंग्स को मुझे फोर्सफुली ही करना पड़ेगा. We have always got unlimited wants, unlimited needs. There will always be scarcity of funds. There will always be one or other sort of incidents taking place around. कभी बहन की शादी होगी, कभी बच्चों का एजुकेशन होगा, कभी रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग होगी, कभी कार लेनी होगी, कभी प्रॉपर्टी लेनी होगी, कभी कुछ ना कुछ 4-6 महीने 8 महीने में आता ही रहेगा. हर एक की जिंदगी में आता है. तो अगर तुम एक्सपेंस को प्रायोरिटाइज करोगे तो सेविंग्स कभी कुछ होगी ही नहीं, और यहाँ पे ही लोग फंसते हैं. प्रॉब्लम इज वी हैव ऑलवेज गॉट अ लिमिटेड टाइम. Primarily where I'll be putting the focus of my expertise will be a one business or one profession or one job, then how to create the passive sources of income? I need to do the savings from my existing income first of all. Then only I can go to the step number 2, which is creating the passive sources of income. So this is how the cash flow statement of rich people looks like. So whatever the income they get, no, from job, profession, business, they first create the assets. Those assets will create more and more amount of earning for them, and then whatever the amount is left will be allocated to expense, and that will further be prioritized. एक्सपेंस में भी वो वाले एक्सपेंस पहले जो नीड बेस्ड है, और वांट्स को एकदम लास्ट प्रायोरिटी. वांट्स माने के दोज विच आर अबोव एंड above the requirement of your needs. Now we have understood that savings should be done. Then what will happen? Will you keep your savings idle? Will you keep your savings idle? If you had done the savings in 1990, say 1 lakh rupee, what's the value of 1 lakh rupee right now? When you know that how much pain and how much efforts you had put to earn 1 lakh rupees in 1990. What you will do with savings? I must appreciate Mr. Tushar's overwhelming reactions. Very fast, very speedy, and instant. I'm expecting from others too. Yes, Mr. Jai, very true. Invest. Now, when it comes to investment, let me ask you one question. Say you have got only 2 alternatives. Try to understand. Alternative number 1, alternative number 2. You are supposed to invest 10 lakhs rupees in both the alternatives. 10 lakhs rupees in one, 10 lakhs rupees in two. And you will receive the cash inflows for 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Say this is one scheme of retirement planning, or I may say insurance, or any other sort of a scheme. In first one, you receive 1 lakh rupees in a year number 1, 2 lakhs rupees in year number 2, 3 lakhs rupees in year number 3, 4 lakhs rupees in year number 4, and 5 lakhs rupees in year number 5. So in total, you will get 15 lakhs rupees. In second one, which is exactly reverse in nature, first you get 5 lakhs rupees, then you get 4, then you get 3, then you get 2, and you get 1 in the last year. Again, the total income will be 15 lakhs. Now, if you have just one option to select, which one you will go with? First of all, you will just write your answer 1 or 2 in the chat box, and then I'll ask for the explanation. 1 or 2, everyone please. Mr. Tushar saying second, Mr. Rishit saying second, Mr. Siddharth saying second, Mr. Malhar saying second, Mr. Jai saying second too. How about others? Mr. Priyank is saying second as well. Do we have only boys in the class? I guess very few girls. Mansi and Archana. And one more if I'm not wrong, Miss Prisha. Okay. तो भैया ये क्लास तो ओवरवेलमिंगली बॉयज के ऊपर है. अच्छा, so everyone is going with the second. Reason behind second, please. क्यों second? unmute or you may put your answer in chat box. Five lakh would value more in first year compared to the fifth year. Well, that's the starting point of time value of money. For a layman, it really does not make a difference. They would see this like 15 lakhs in alternative 1, 15 lakhs in alternative 2, so that really does not matter. But for finance men, it matters because they know that money today is worth more than money tomorrow. Please put this in the back of your mind. That is going to be the starting point of every calculations we are going to do in the upcoming sessions. Money today is worth more than money tomorrow. The additional 4 lakhs rupees you receive in alternative number 2 in the first year will remain invested for 5 more years. The additional 2 lakhs rupees you receive in alternative number 2 in second year will remain invested for 4 years. In the first one, you get the additional inflow, of 2 lakhs rupees in year number 4 that will remain invested for 2 years. And in the last year, you receive the additional amount of 4 lakhs that will remain invested for 1 year. So friends, whether the interest of 5 years and 4 years will be high or whether the interest of 2 years and 1 year will be high. Obviously the interest of 4 years and 5 years, right? So there is an earning power of money. Vitamin C. जैसे फाइनेंशियल कोविड हो जाता है तो कौन सा विटामिन लेना पड़ता है? विटामिन सी. कोविड होता है तो विटामिन सी की गोलियां देते हैं ना, तो विटामिन सी होता है ना, वो है कंपाउंडिंग. We will come to the compounding in the next session to come, which is going to be our time value of money session, and we'll also look at some practical questions. But that is going to be a base for you. You can look at the time value of money from two perspectives. One is there is an earning power of money. You cannot afford to keep your money idle because there is earning power of money. And if you lose this bus, तो फिर आपको में टिंगाते टिंगाते जाना पड़ेगा. तो आपको मालूम है कि बहुत तकलीफ होती है टाइम की, तो आपको उसके बहुत ही छोटे समय के अंदर इनक्रेडिबल बेनिफिट्स हो सकते हैं. अर्ली इज ऑलवेज बेटर. As early as possible. Do it. Better. It's a paper currency, my friend, if it is kept just in idle. And the paper currency's value is purely dependent on the economic policies of the government. So your government will be deciding that whether you should be poor or rich if you'll be keeping that idle. In the deflation situations, where there is no additional circulation of money taking place, at that time keeping the money idle may be the best alternative for you. I'm not saying that keeping the money idle is always bad, but that happens very, very rarely, where you will prefer to keep that money in cash rather than investing it in in any other avenues due to economic reasons. But in a long period of time, it's been always observed that inflation always works against you. 1940 में जो 1 लाख रुपए का परचेसिंग पावर आपके पास था, उस 1 लाख रुपए में आज कुछ नहीं आता. Just 2 days or 3 days back, that was one tweet shared by Mr. Anand Mahindra that in 1980s the Ambassador car was getting sold somewhere near to 5,000 6,000 rupees. The kind of a status symbol it used to give in that time, the similar kind of a status symbol you may have with the Fortuner car or a Verna or a Thar of Mahindra today. And you know how much money it will require to purchase. So friends, inflation is always working against you. That is a one perspective to look at the time value of money. Another one is earning power of money. You always lose the opportunity to invest it somewhere if you keep it idle. And this collectively is nothing but the time value of money. I hope that's the introduction. Time value of money clear to everyone. Confirmation please. यहाँ तक सब कुछ clear है? Okay, received from Miss Vidhi. Vidhi would be like, मेरा नाम क्यों भूल गया? 3 लड़कियों का बोला मेरा नाम, तो अब तो मैं yes sir बोलूंगी. Okay. Miss Mansi as well, very nice. Miss Prisha too. Well, so we will go to the aspects of time value of money in the next session and power of compounding, and then we'll slowly and steadily move to various questions. And our questions will also be very practical. We'll take the real life situations and scenarios, and accordingly we'll be using those things. So that's it from my side for the day. Please put your enrollment number as a mark of your attendance. That's it. If you have any questions or queries, you may ask it to me right now, else I'm assuming you have got everything. Some people would be like, sir, हम तो नहीं ही पूछेंगे. तो बेटा उसमें तेरा घाटा, मेरा कुछ नहीं जाता. फिर बड़ा पछताओगे. Please put your enrollment number. See you all in the next session again.